I am once again in the Chequamegon Nicolet National Forest, this time at Kentuck Lake Campground. All right, I picked up a trail map here that is from Spectacle to Kentuck Hiking Trail. Well, it turns out there's a separate campground over here. I'm not sure how to drive to that, but there's a nice little trail apparently. They have a beach over at Spectacle Lake. There is no beach over on Kentuck Lake. So let's go explore. And I think I will combine this into the two campgrounds into one video. There is a variation in the rates here. This is something you can get through recreation.gov. There are quite a few sites that are on that. And there are some out here, I believe, like 1 through 8 that are called red banded lakeshore sites that are $18 a night. All the other ones are $15 a night, the offshore sites. So this one, they charge a premium if you're on the lake. I think I'll do this loop, then this, so I can keep the numbers in order. Well, I can tell you already, this is a more popular campground than some of the others I've been to. Most of the sites look occupied. Site 1, first come, first serve. Site 2, reservable, pretty flat, and kind of tight in there with everything up there. Site 3, reservable. There's quite a bit of room, certainly with what they've done. Site 4 over here on the water, which is probably a red band one. And these aren't even as on the water as some others I've seen lately. Lots of room there. Site 5, another red band one on the water. Non-reservable, that's first come, first serve. Site 6 is reservable. Looks like it's currently open though. Whoever's coming in has it for a long time. 7 is the campground host. 8 is reservable. Not a red band, but on the water. At least I don't think it's a red band one. These are all been fairly level sites. I'm going uphill here to 9, but it's still a fairly level site with a big fifth wheel. And 10 is first come, first serve. It's a bit of a slope up to it, so you decide if it works for you. 11, first come, first serve. A little smaller site, doesn't look used very often. There's 12, you can get a good sense of size there. First come, first serve. 13 on the left. Again, very flat, fairly small, but you choose. 14 on the right. They got a pretty big rig in there and a lot of room up front. There's a lot of room left in that one. And that's first come, first serve too. And that is that loop. So it may be a fairly popular campground, but there are still some sites available. I am here midweek, so that always makes a difference. So reminder again, I've said this in some of my past videos, but this may be the first one you're coming to in the National Forest. Just because it's reserved does not mean it's taken now. Look at the tags, see if they are reserved for the night you're interested in. If not, sometimes you can stay up to 4 nights or 3 nights that aren't reserved yet. If you want to reserve a site, you have to book it 4 days before your arrival. So if it's not booked now, and in those 4 days, it may be after that booked. So you can still pick one of those other sites that is not available or is reserved, but just not reserved now. I did see a recommendation that if you do want to pick a site that is reserved and your time runs out, you just move to a new site within the campground. You have your stay limits in the campground, but you can move around if you're not reserving them. All right, this is site 15, first come, first serve, and it is a big one. That one goes way back there. And that one's right on the road, on the cross section, with a big gap before the next one. Site 16, reservable. It has a reservation on it. It also has somebody who, even though it was reserved, somebody else picked a different date that wasn't reserved and used it. So it's fairly deep. I wouldn't put anything huge on there, but you could park an RV and your vehicle next to it. Across from there is 17. This is park down here, camp up there on the terrace. 18, reservable. This one has a slope down and it keeps going down. So it's not the best, flattest one. It would be a good tenting site down there. 19 is a roadside stop. Actually park here and take your stuff up there. This is first come, first serve. 20 is a pull through. First pull through I've seen. So park up here, then your 2 tables are down there. 21 across from there, parking pad, and again a terraced area for your tent and tables. Back down the hill here to 22. Now, 22 is very convenient to the boat ramp. So this one, you have a lot of room over on the right. And 2 tables, I'm assuming they looks like they got new tables, and if the old tables were still good, they just kept them. Let's go take a look at that lake. All right, here is the lake. Now, they do seem to have the site manned here to making sure people are paying their $5 to park or to use the boat ramp down here. That's a pretty big lake. Marshy on the edges. No wake zone is way out there. I think part of what they're looking for here at the boat ramp is making sure your boat is clean and you're not contaminating this beautiful, pretty lake. Okay, one last section of this campground, and then we'll go over to Spectacle Lake. Now, I just looked at the map for the trail. It goes from here over there. I haven't quite found the trail. It's over here somewhere. But the map shows it's about 1.5 mile walk. I'm curious to see how long a drive it is. I'll let you know. Okay, sites 23 through 31. Up the hill. Okay, just hiked up the hill. It's actually a big gap before we get to here. 23 is reservable. Nothing on the horizon. This is a wide site and probably about 25-30 feet deep. 24 reservable and has upcoming reservations. This one's a little deeper and you still have room almost to set something next to it easily. 25 reservable, another one back here in the woods up on the hill. This one's a little grassier. 26 over here. Truck camper works well in there. It's a little more room behind them and certainly enough room for the boat on the side. 27 over here. As you can see, the small 5th wheel in there and still room for the vehicle. Or if you could have a longer one, you'd have room on the side for another vehicle or boat. 28 over here. Again, another short and wide site. So you definitely be placing something bigger next to your vehicle. And a Baker water pump for water up here. Oh, no, that one is disconnected too. So ignore that. 29 over here. Again, reservable, a little longer. And again, people trying to burn entire trees rather than get some proper firewood. It's fairly wide, so you can do 2 things next to each other easily. 30 over here. You can get a sense of that. There's quite a bit of room. It slopes a little to the left. 31, also reservable. And again, if the dates on there aren't the dates you're here, you can still grab them for short periods. It's got a good long section over on this side and plenty of room on the left. Now I gotta hike down to my vehicle, hop in, and go check out Spectacle Lake Campground, because they seem to think they're together, but I have a feeling it's going to take me a little while to get there. Well, I made it to Spectacle Lake. It took about a half an hour. I'm not sure how many miles that was. I don't have any service. I can't GPS check it. It's a 1.5 mile walk, but about a half an hour to get here. But worth it, because I had to go all the way back down to 70, cut over, come back up, and there was a few intersections without signage. But here's the bonus. Site 5. Yes, I'm paying for a red band site at $18 a night instead of $15, but I'll show you why. This is a non-reservable site, so first come, first serve. It is flat. I will sleep well tonight. I just went down the street, $5 for that bundle of firewood at the neighbors. But through here, off the back of my site, is Spectacle Lake and the beach. So my site is actually in the middle of the swim area. Neighbors are all set out here on the beach. They got the tent up on the beach. It's gorgeous. So what you see here on this lake, the size you see, it narrows down around the corner and then equal size on the other side, like a pair of spectacles. All right, you've seen my site. I'm obviously in a new set of clothes again. So it is the next morning. I had a great night here. It got a little chillier than I expected. Breeze came off the water, and there were no mosquitoes last night. I was so relaxed. After the night before I was killing mosquitoes all through my van. So it was a very comfortable night last night. So here's the campground map. All of these sites 1 through 13 have water beach access. As it says, white sand beach here. Those are all $18 a night. Every other site is $15 a night. There's no electric here. Actually, site 1 is the campground host, so that's off the table. It's a little short. It felt a little short on the pit toilets. Way down here, only really accessible quickly for these 3 are way out there. So if you're in the middle, I guess I could have gone back that way, but it seemed a bit far. So let's go take a full tour. There's not a lot of people here. Maybe because it's the weekday. Today is a Thursday morning, and there's not a lot of people hanging out. There is a boat dock. This is, I believe, a non-motorized lake, but I'll double check that for you. This place is all about the beach. All right, I did check. This is not a non-motorized lake. You can't have boats with motors on here. They do have this nice angular pier that is very close to the campground over there. I just want to note on the campground, there's a group of guys who are staying next to me. They all have their kayaks for fishing. And while they're out fishing yesterday, the Forest Service came by, left them a little note informing them that you cannot put your tent on the shoreline. All right, just walk the shoreline over from the boat ramp, and they have this nice little picnic spot for day use. Now, once again, this campground has a mix of reservable and non-reservable sites. So if the reservable ones you can grab on recreation.gov, the non-reservable ones are first come, first serve. And even the reservable ones, if no one has reserved them, you can stay for a night or 2 if you show up on a night that is not reserved. You have to book 4 days out online. So that means even if you show up, there's nothing listed as reserved, you have at least 3 nights available. All right, site 1 over here is the camp host. Site 2, you can see a fairly large fifth wheel in there. Sort of see it. And these are all the $18 a night ones along the water. Another big travel trailer in the next one, and there's room on the side too. So you can still add the boat to it as well. Site 3 over here with the big travel trailer. These are all nicely flat sites. Site 4, reservable, flat, goes back quite a bit. Close to the water, but not on it. Site 5 is what I'm in, and that is not reservable. That is first come, first serve. And I've already shown you that. Really nice site. Site 6 over here is reservable. Well, it's got a picnic table and a half. The second table doesn't have benches. Maybe that's where you clean your fish. Maybe that's the concept. Anyway, it's a big site. There's mine on the water. Now, next to mine is the path that officially takes you. No, I guess that's further over. Path is officially over there yet. There's a handicapped parking spot here for the beach. There's another little spot over there, so you can just come and park for the beach. Site 7 over here, first come, first serve. Here's the path to the beach. And it doesn't take you into, I guess it takes you to the edge of the swim area, and my spot is in the swim area. 8, first come, first serve. It's a huge site. That is massive. You could park the trailer for the boat off to the side and still have the RV living there. Forget it's even there. 9 is reservable. Again, pretty big. 10, first come, first serve. This one doesn't look like it gets a lot of love. It's very grassy up top. It's not very worn down. 11, first come, first serve. And this is a premium site at $18 a night. And it is also a gorgeous site. 2 tables, 1 new one, 1 old one. Across from that is 12. Again, a nice wooded site. It goes way back too. And it doesn't look like it gets a lot of love either. It's a little grassy. 13 is the last of the premium sites, I believe. But this one, let's check this one out. It's first come, first serve. So you decide if this is going to work for you. You're going to have to park here. Walk down 2 levels to the platform down below. So this is like the premium tenting site. 14 over here. Slight slope in, not bad. It's very flat when you get in there. Reservable. 15 is reservable. It is quite long. The teardrop is way back there. Fit like 5 teardrops in that space. Now this section around the corner and heading up on the other side of the hill is dead empty right now. 16, first come, first serve. And I think there are some reservable sites here. So if you want to reserve that site, you can, but it's a good chance you're going to find one anyway back here. 17 over here. This one slopes up, but you decide if it's going to work for you. It's very grassy, so for tents that would be great. Walk around barefoot, perfect. 18 over here. This one's reservable. It's not very big, So pop-ups, teardrops, something like that will be fine here. Anything much bigger, you might run into some problems. 19 over here, slope up, a little bit flat, but first come, first serve. You decide if you want it. Actually, these are reservable. 20 and 21 are both reservable. Here's 20 on the outside. It is fairly large. There's a little first half of a slope up, then it's flat up top. 21 on the other side is a little smaller, but flat all the way in. These are reservable, but there are no reservations noted on any of these. 22 over here, slopes up, got a little small pad, maybe a pop-up can go there, and then step up to the table and fire pit. 23, first come, first serve. That's actually a very nice site. That is big and flat. You may dip a little in the middle, but you got a good flat spot in the back there to set up, and I don't know why the table's in the woods. That's a little weird. 24, first come, first serve. This one's all kind of slopey uphill. 25, 26 are both first come, first serve. Again, a little bit of slope up and flat. We are off in the woods here. Good chance of seeing some critters out here. All right, 26 here. First come, first serve. Somebody has used this. At least there's a remainder tag on there. It's a little wider over in the end there, but fairly narrow in the entry. 27 is reservable. Fairly large space here. I mean, you can get a fair sized rig in here and then have to park the car to the side. But then you step down to the fire ring and picnic tables. But if you wanted to, you can certainly tent up here as well. This is nice and soft up here. 28 is reservable. And this is fairly short before you hit the barriers. So they don't want you driving all the way back for some reason. So this is definitely small rig, pop up, something like that. And then plenty of room in the back for tents. 29, reservable. It's a fair distance here. You can still get a big, fairly large rig in here before you hit the barriers. And then plenty of space out back. But by doing this, no one's driving on this. Means that this area here is soft dirt. It doesn't get compacted. And there is a stream that comes down through here between these two sites. There's nothing in that stream right now, but it's very pretty little rock landscaping right now. Okay, when I measured the distance from Kentuck Lake to Spectacle Lake on the little map they gave me, I measured out about 1.5 miles. They're telling me it's 2.5 miles to get from the beach here, or the well where I'm standing right now, over to the well over here. So that's a little bit of a ways. There are railroad grades, I don't know, boardwalks, wooden bridges, all sorts of things to cross on the way. So if you want a nice long hike, that's actually not a bad hike, but remember, you got to come back. And the idea of having a vehicle at the other end, that's a half an hour away. So if somebody wants to do the whole vehicle transfer thing, that's an hour to get that done. All right, 30, reservable. Not a huge site, but very flat. Very nice little site. And that one, at least you're close to the porta potty, close to the beach. So this is a sort of a close to the beach, but on the back half. 31, first come, first serve. Looks like a very nice soft site. A lot of mossy ground. 32, quite a distance from the neighbors here. Again, a very soft, mossy site, first come, first serve. 33 here, first come, first serve. Fairly deep, gravelly, and a little mossy. As we come around the corner, 34 is our last site. First come, first serve. Very flat. And I don't know why somebody dug in over there. Now currently, no firewood sales in the park. There's a guy selling firewood just up the street, $5 for a nice big bundle. So it'd be $5 a night at least if you want a fire every night. However, they did just drop a shed yesterday here, and I've seen them dropping them around. Saw these sheds driving around yesterday, and it looks like it might be a future firewood shed. So that's it for my tour of Kentuck Lake and Spectacle Lake in the Chequamegon Nicolet National Forest. I hope this was useful to you. I will be doing more of these. I have done a series before this from the National Forest, so you can tour all these campgrounds. I am right now in the eastern part of Wisconsin, northeastern part of Wisconsin, doing these tours. Someday I'll try to get to the western portion. I've only got 2 of those campgrounds marked, so videoed so far. I'll have to get to more of those. So check the playlist here of those if you want to see more of them. Some that you can find on recreation.gov, some you can't because they are only first come, first serve. Seems like all of them are plunked onto a lake. That is part of the deal. They don't just have them in the woods. And you can really see a difference between this one and Kentuck Lake. This one is a much quieter lake. This is the one you want to paddle on. The other one you're going to want a motorized boat. So thanks for coming along. I'll see you in the next one. Get on out there.